3 things that we can do in order to make your goals stick. In order to really understand what's important and why these things are important, I want to give you a couple of statistics to get you to move forward. Like I said, we're running a little bit behind, so I'm going to try and make this get done right around 12:45. I'm going to send this out to everybody at the end, so if you miss anything, don't you worry. You're going to get this at the end, okay? So I want to give you a couple statistics so that you can understand better why this is important, why goal setting is actually important. All right, so the first set of statistics that I want to give you is regarding just general goal setting, okay? Number 1, 83% of people don't set goals at all. 83%, that is a 3. 83% of people don't set goals at all. Now, I'm going to assume that that's on a regular basis. We'll say more than once a year. So 83% of people don't set goals on average at more than once a year, okay? 83%. 14% set goals but don't write them down. So 14% set goals and don't write them down. Now that's not terribly important to you right this second, but it will be important to you soon enough. All right? And finally, the final 3% do set goals and do write them down. 83% don't set goals, 14% do set goals, don't write them down, 3% do set goals and do write them down. Okay? So that's our first little cluster of stats. And since it is the new year, it's the beginning of the new year, we're a couple weeks into this year. A lot of people are setting New Year's resolutions. And although 83% don't, we're going to assume that that's more than once a year. So we're going to assume that number's higher, and especially for this group that's watching today, or just anybody who's involved in the wellness challenge in general, you've already raised your standards on yourself because you've decided to be part of the wellness challenge, so you should pat yourself on the back for that. But a lot of people are going to be setting goals right now at the beginning of the year because that's when a lot of people do set goals. So we're going to assume that a lot of you have set some sort of New Year's goal. New Year's goals. 92% of people who set New Year's goals fail at their goal by January 15th. 92% of people who set New Year's goals, 92% fail by January 15th. That's 3 days. By January 15th, 92% fail. So we have to figure out how to make your goal stick if you've set some New Year's goals between now and January 15th. We have 3 days to figure that out. So put this stuff in. Now, in order to start moving towards our goal setting system, I want to start in the beginning. I gave you some statistics about writing and not writing. 14% don't write their goals down. They make goals but don't write them down. And then 3% do write them down. This is the first place that you need to start, writing your goals down. You have 1,500 thoughts a minute that go through your brain. 1,500 thoughts that go through this thing right here, a minute. So if you don't write your goals down, it's going to get lost. You might think of it again tomorrow or in an hour or next week, but it's going to get lost in this brain of yours. Everyone does it. You like to think that maybe you can hang on to it. Your odds are just diminishing by the second. So you want to write them down. Writing down your goal will increase your chances of success by 80%. Writing down your goal will increase your chances of success by 80%. So we want to get it out on paper. So as we go through this, I want you to go ahead right now, grab yourself a pen and paper. Grab yourself a pen and paper. Go ahead. Now that you have your pen and paper, we're going to make sure that you write everything down as we go through these steps. All right? The next thing that I want you to do, if you're able to, I know a lot of you are at work, so this might be tough, but if you're able to, what I would like you to do is find a quiet place. Find a quiet place where you can go and you can think. Because the more clear your mind is, the better chance that you'll be able to actually articulate what you want. if you're being distracted by phone calls and emails and your boss walking by and colleagues coming by, checking up on you, then you're not going to be able to really think. So if you can't do that right this second, go ahead and still write your answers down. However, later, really sit down and think through these steps. Okay? So I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule. We're good to go. We're going to start with step 1. All right? And step 1 of our goal setting, step 1 is make SMART goals inside of big goals. Make your SMART goals inside of your big goals. This is where most people stop. Most people write their goals down, and that's all they do. The ones that actually do set goals, they write them down, and that's the end of it. And obviously, that increases your likelihood by 80%, which we already talked about. Increase your likelihood of succeeding by 80%. We want to increase that 80% to 95% to 99%. We don't want to stop at 80%. So although writing them down is important, there we go. That's kind of an R now. So although writing them down is important, and that's this first step, and we're going to go through it, we want to finish off the steps after this. So this is where a lot of people stop, but we're going to finish that off. So here's where we're going to start. Make your SMART goals inside of your big goals. All right, big. Big, big, big. Big means bold, intimidating. Good chance I might spell this wrong. And grand. Boom. Bold, intimidating, grand goals. This is your big goal. Throughout this session, we're going to use an example. And the example is going to be weight loss because at some point we have all had the goal of losing weight. Whether that's your goal now, or that has been your goal before, or that might be someone's goal in the future. I hope that it's not. But at some point, we've all wanted to lose weight. I've lost 50 pounds. Our lifestyle mentor has lost 100 pounds. So we've all been in that bucket. So we're going to use that as an example throughout this session. And so our big goal, it needs to be bold, it needs to be intimidating, and it needs to be grand. So this is a goal that if you told somebody your goal, they would look at you and they'd say, that's great, you're nuts. That's great that you want to achieve it, but you're crazy for thinking that. So if we're talking about losing weight, let's say we want to lose 50 pounds. 50 pounds is a big number. If you think of losing 50 pounds, that's something big to achieve. So that's something that if I told someone I wanted to lose 50 pounds, they would look at me and they'd say, that's awesome, but you're crazy. That's going to be tough to do. And that's fine. That's what we want this to be. We want this to be big. So I want you to think of a big goal that you want to achieve. Financial goal, personal goal, professional goal, whatever it is. A big goal that you want to achieve, and write it down. Go ahead, write it down. After that, once we've, I put that in my pocket. Once we've made our big goal, bold, intimidating, and grand, we want to make our SMART goal inside of our big goal. SMART. Now, I imagine a lot of you have heard the acronym SMART goal, the acronym SMART for goal, but we're going to go over it again anyway. Now, a SMART goal needs to be specific, measurable, achievable, forgot for a second, reasonable, and time sensitive. Whoop. Okay. Specific, measurable, achievable, reasonable, time sensitive. So if 50 pounds is our big goal, we need to make a specific, measurable, achievable, reasonable, time sensitive goal inside of that 50-pound big goal. So let's say that for our example, we're going to lose 10 pounds in 1 month. 10 pounds in 1 month. And that's going to be our SMART goal, okay? Is it specific? Yes, it is specific, 10 pounds in a month. Measurable? Absolutely. You either lose 10 pounds or you don't lose 10 pounds. Achievable? Yes. From our experience, that's definitely achievable. Reasonable? Yep, it's reasonable. This is supposed to be realistic, actually, but I don't like the word realistic because I have an entrepreneurial mindset, which may be a bad thing sometimes, but I think that you could achieve anything if you put your mind to it. But that's another story. And then time sensitive. We've put 1 month. We want to lose 10 pounds in 1 month. So it covers all of these criteria, all right? So go ahead and write your SMART goal down. So we have your big goal, 50 pounds, and we have your SMART goal, 10 pounds in 1 month. The next thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you are confident that you're able to reach that 10-pound 1 month mark. That you're confident that you can get to 10 pounds in 1 month. And here's how you're going to do that. We're going to use a change ruler. I want you to write on your piece of paper 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 10. On your piece of paper from one end to the other. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give yourself a little bit of space because we're going to use it. So this is your change ruler. And on your change ruler, from a scale of 0 to 10, 0 meaning there's no chance I can do it, no chance I'm going to get there, and 10 meaning I got it, no problem, this is going to be easy, check, I can knock it out. On a scale of 0 to 10, how confident are you that you can achieve your SMART goal? How confident are you that you can lose 10 pounds in 1 month? What you circle is important. If you circle a 10, then you've made it too easy. If you circle a 10 and you say, yep, I got it, I'm going to get it, no problem, then you've made it too easy. So although your big goal is huge. Your big goal, you have to climb up the Eiffel Tower, you have to jump on a hot air balloon, and that's how you get to it. Your SMART goal, all you have to do is climb up a ladder, and you can kind of reach up, and then you can grab it. So it's out of reach, but you can get to it. It has to be challenging, but not too challenging. So if you said 10, I got it, no problem, you've made it too easy. So you need to make it a little more challenging on yourself. If we go back to our example, 10 pounds in 1 month, we need to bump that to 11 or 12 pounds in 1 month, or 10 pounds in 3 weeks, something along those lines. So just slight deviation, a little bit of change. If you said 10, all right? That's good if you said 10. I'm glad you're confident, but if you said that, you need to make it a little harder. Otherwise, your mind will say, too easy, not going to try. Now, if you said 7, 8, or 9, 7, 8, or 9, you're pretty much good to go. You're in the comfort zone, you're fine, comfortable. 7, 8, or 9, you're good to go. Okay? You can make a little bit of change if you really feel like I want to push myself, or if you're comfortable, good, I'll stay there. But 7, 8, or 9, you're pretty much good to go. All right? 3, where did I go from here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty much anything else on the bottom half of the list. Pretty much anything else at the bottom half of the list after 7. If you've circled one of those, you want to change it. You want to make it just a little bit easier, okay? So if you circled a 3, then you're not very confident that you can achieve this 10 pounds in 1 month, so you're not even going to try. So it's already out of reach for you. So you need to bring it in a little bit. So you need to say 8 pounds in 1 month, or 7 pounds in 1 month, or 10 pounds in 6 weeks, or 10 pounds in 2 months. So if you've, on our change ruler, if you've circled anything below a 5 or a 6, then you need to change it just a little bit so that you are more comfortable and more confident that you can actually achieve it. All right? This is important because you have to be confident that you're going to achieve it. All right? So that's our first step. Make your SMART goals inside of your big goals. Now, once we've made our SMART goals inside of our big goals, so we have our big goal, losing 50 pounds, and we have our SMART goal, losing 10 pounds. The next thing that we want to do is Step 2. Make it meaningful to you. That's the key word. Make it meaningful to you. A lot of people make goals or make the decision to make a change based on someone else's opinions, or based on someone else's standards, or based on someone else's thoughts of what they need to be. So for instance, if you go to the doctor and the doctor says, you need to lose 50 pounds because you're pre-diabetic, you have hypertension, you can't move very well, you have bad hips, you have bad back, you have all these things going on, and the doctor says you need to lose 50 pounds. Okay, he's telling you that you need to change. You look at him and you say, I'm not really that bad. I'm fine. I understand that I should probably do this, but I'm pretty comfortable with where I am. It's not important to you. It's not meaningful to you. You are not worried about losing 50 pounds. The best way for you to lose 50 pounds, to make this meaningful to you, whatever the goal is, even if it is already a little meaningful, we can build that a little more, is to build discrepancy. And what I mean by discrepancy is the difference between where you are now and where you want to be. So if I say to the doctor, losing 50 pounds to me is not very important, the discrepancy between where I am now and 50 pounds lighter is not very different, because I don't think I'm going to feel that much better. I think I feel pretty good right now, but I don't think I'm going to feel that much better. Now, if I think that right now, when I'm 50 pounds heavier, I feel awful, I have no energy, my knees hurt, my back hurts, I have all this stuff going on, I wish I could feel so much better, I know I could feel great if I lost 50 pounds. The discrepancy is a lot bigger. You see what I mean? So suddenly you believe that the change that you're going to make, losing 50 pounds, or the goal you're going to reach, is big. I believe I'm going to feel a lot better when I get there. So you have to make it meaningful to you by building discrepancy. And here's how we're going to build discrepancy. Okay? We're going to ask 3 questions, and I want you to answer these 3 questions based on your goal. I want you to answer these 3 questions as we go through them. So question number 1. How is your life negatively impacted because of your current situation? How is your life negatively impacted because of your current situation? What I mean by that is, if we go back to our example, I'm 50 pounds overweight. How is my life negatively impacted because of my weight, because of the goal that I'm trying to achieve? If it's a professional goal, if it's a financial goal, if I'm not making as much money as I like to, how is my life negatively impacted because of that? List 5 to 10 things, okay? List 5 to 10 things right now as we're going through it. If not, you can do it later whenever we send this to you. But going through this right now would be really important. So how is your life negatively impacted because of where you are right now in your current situation based on your goal? All right? So go ahead and write those things down. The second thing that we want to answer is, how is my life going to be positively affected when I reach my goal? So for instance, let's say, go back to our example, we're 50 pounds overweight, and some of the negative things that we say are, I can't play with my kids or grandkids, I'm pre-diabetic, I'm on statins, my back hurts, my knees hurt, I have to miss work a lot because I have a lot of doctor's appointments. We can go to what's going to be positive, how is our life going to be affected in a positive way when I reach my goal, and man, I keep just missing letters. How is my life going to be affected in a positive way when I reach my goal? And we can look at these negatives, and there's going to be a positive correlation on the other side. So, for instance, if I say that one of my negatives is I'm on statins. A positive, when I reach my goal, is that my statins will be lower, and I might be off of them. I might be off of my statins. And if a negative is I have to miss work often because I go to the doctor, the positive is I don't have to miss work as much, and I can work more, which may or may not be a good thing for some of you, but I believe that you should love your work, so it should be a good thing. So how is your life going to be positively affected once you reach your goal? And then finally, number 3, who else is currently affected by your situation right now as it is, and how will they be positively affected when you reach your goal? Who else is currently affected by your situation right now, and then who else will be positively affected once you reach your goal, once you get there? How will they be positively affected? So we've already talked about kids and grandkids. So let's use them as an example. Who else? The kids or the grandkids, we can't play with them because we're 50 pounds overweight. We can't roll around with them. We don't have a lot of energy. We can't get up and down off the ground. They're affected right now. They'll be positively affected. How will they be positively affected? I'll have more energy to play with them. I'll be able to get up and down off the ground with them. I'll be able to run around. I'll be able to go out in the yard. I'll be able to do all these things. All right? So who else and how will they be positively affected when you get there? So go ahead and list those out real quick. And we're going to do something. So once you have those listed out, okay, we're going to do something with these answers. Whoop. 2 and 3. We're going to do something with those 2 answers. And here's what we're going to do. So we have the answer to all 3, but we're going to utilize 2 and 3. The answers to these 2 we want to put into a short paragraph. And the paragraph is going to be written in present tense. Okay, so like it's happening. And you're going to write the paragraph something like this. So let's say, my goal is to lose 50 pounds. I'm not going to say when I lose 50 pounds. I'm going to say I have lost 50 pounds, or now that I've lost 50 pounds, my energy level is much higher. I can play with my kids or grandkids. My statins are lower. I'm not pre-diabetic anymore. I have so much more energy. I can go to work and actually stay. I don't have a hard time getting up and down out of the car. So I have all those things. Write it in present tense. Little short paragraph. Put these things together. Okay? Who's affected in a positive way? And who's affected now? And how will they be affected in a positive way? And then how are you going to be affected in a positive way? Make it really juicy so that when you read this paragraph, it makes you feel good. All right? Take these 2, put them together, make a short paragraph, make it really juicy. Make it really juicy so that when you read it, it makes you feel good. We're going to use that in a second. So that's step 2, make it meaningful to you. Just to recap, because we're pretty ahead of schedule. Step 1, make your SMART goals inside of your big goals. All right? Make your SMART goal, lose 50 pounds. Big goal, lose 50 pounds. SMART goal, lose 10 pounds in a month. Measurable, specific, achievable, so on. And then answer these questions. And then the last 2, put them into a paragraph. How is your current life negatively affected because of your current situation based on your goal? How is your life going to be positively affected once you reach your goal? And then who else is affected by your current situation? And how will they be positively affected when you reach your goal? Put these 2 into a short paragraph and make it juicy so that it makes you smile. Okay? I'm sorry about the light, by the way. I know I'm shadowy. And if you hear buzzing, that's lights as well. It's not me humming like a ventriloquist. Are those the ones that do the puppets? Yeah? All right. So that's step 2. I'm not talking to myself. There's someone over here nodding at me. I have a live audience too. Step 2. So step 3. We want to finish up, round out our 3-step process. Okay? Step 3. Once we've done those 2, the last thing that we're going to do is amplify your goal. Amplify your goal. Excuse me, I'm going to get some water real quick because I'm a little parched. This is water. It's not wine. All of our members think that this is a wine bottle. It's not, I promise. So, amplify your goal. At Thrive Fitness, we tell our members that you are what you eat. And we mean that literally. You are what you literally eat. What does that mean? And how does that have to do with anything? I'll get there in a second. What does you are what you eat mean? So you are what you literally eat. Whatever you ingest on a regular basis, you are what you eat. 90% of your body will turn over between now and 12 months from now. So 12 months from today, 90% of your physical being will have turned over and be completely different. 90% of it. So literally what you ingest will become you. A year from now will be completely different. Figuratively speaking, you are what you eat as well. What I mean by that is you are what you constantly take in. You are what's important to you. You are what you are reminded of. You are what other people remind you you are. You are literally and figuratively what you take in. So, excuse me, if you constantly watch the news, for instance, this is an example that I use all the time. If you constantly watch the news, you might believe that a terrorist is going to walk through the door right this second. You only believe that because the news tells you that that's what's going on in the world. But that's what's going on thousands and thousands of miles away from you. So it's not actually right outside your door, but you believe that because that's what you're taking in. So our bodies have a natural filtration system to push the things away that aren't important to us. Just think what would actually happen if your body couldn't filter, if your mind couldn't filter what was important to you. The amount of information that we have available to us right now, in this second, is absolutely outstanding. Let me give you a little statistic. In one day, today, so this morning, 24 hours, in one day, we curate more information in one day than was created from the beginning of mankind, about 12,000 years ago, to the year 2000. From the beginning of mankind to the year 2000, we create more information in one day than in that period of time. So that's how much information we have available to us, and that is bombarding us all the time. When you drive down the road, when you pick up your phone, you are constantly bombarded with stuff. So if your body didn't have this, you would just go absolutely nuts. However, your body has a natural filtration system. And your body's natural filtration system is called the reticular. This isn't overly important for you to write down, but I'm going to write it up anyway. Activating system. RAS. RAS. This is your body's natural filtration system. It is a real thing within you that filters the things that are not important to you, that you don't pay attention to on a regular basis. It starts at it starts at your brainstem, and it goes up into your brain, and it goes down your spinal cord. And it takes in all the input that you receive from the external world, and it filters it. And it says, this is what you need to pay attention to, and that's what you need to pay attention to. Let me give you two examples. Have you ever bought a car or bought a pair of shoes? Let's say you're going out to look for a car, and you say, I've never seen that one, but I like it a lot. I don't see it very often on the road. It looks great. I like it. Let's get that. Or same thing with a pair of shoes. I've never seen those. They're really comfortable. I like them a lot, so let's get those. You buy the shoes, you buy the car, and 1 week later, everyone has the shoes or everyone has the car. Did everyone go out and buy the same pair of shoes or the same car in that same week that you happened to buy it? Or were they always there and you just didn't pay attention to them? Those things were there. The car was there all the time. The shoes were there all the time. Now all of a sudden, every pair of feet you walk by has your shoes on, and every car that you drive by is your car. Same color, same model, same everything. But they were all there to begin with. You just didn't pay attention to them because they weren't important to you. Your mind said, not important, don't need to pay attention to it. Okay? Another example. Have you ever lost your car keys? You lost your car keys, and you're searching for them for 10 minutes. Can't find my car keys, can't find my car keys. Where are my car keys? I don't know where they are. I don't have any clue. Where are my car keys? 10 minutes down the road, you find your car keys in a spot that you had walked by 5 times already. You've already looked there 5 times, but you didn't find them 5 times before that. You found them at the end of the 10 minutes. Why was that? For 10 minutes, you told yourself, I can't find my car keys. That's what you told your brain. I can't find them. So your brain said, all right, it created what's called a scotoma. It said, okay, you can't find your car keys? Fine. I can't see your car keys. I don't know where they are. I can't see them. So as you're telling yourself you can't find your car keys, it's not looking for your car keys because you're telling yourself, okay, I can't find them. After 10 minutes, you're finally like, you give up. Fine, can't find my car keys. Oh well. And your brain calmed down enough and you found your car keys. So this has happened to everybody. It might be happening to some of you right now. I've lost this pen a couple times in my pocket, but that's another story. So your RAS filters out all the things that aren't important to you. And those are just 2 specific examples. So we want to take your goal and we want to put it in the front of your brain so that it doesn't get stuck in your RAS and it doesn't get filtered out through the 1,500 other thoughts that go through your mind in 1 minute. So how are we going to do that? We're going to amplify them, and we're going to do this 3 ways. How are we doing? Ooh, we're getting close. 3 ways. Number 1, read your goal at least 2 times a day. Morning and evening. The first thing that you're going to do is read your goal 2 times a day. First thing in the morning and right before you go to bed. First thing in the morning and right before you go to bed. There's a reason why you're going to do this. So you're going to do this at least 2 times a day. First thing in the morning, right before you go to bed, you're going to read your goal. The reason that you want to read your goal first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed, at least first thing in the morning, right before you go to bed, is obviously repetition. The more you see it, the more your mind says, all right, this is important, I need to pay attention to it. And then, also, first thing in the morning, your mind's not thinking of anything. It's slept all night, it's filtered out all the stuff that you went through the day before. So, first thing in the morning, you can put something into your brain and it has a much higher likelihood of going into your subconscious and making you think about it. So, that's why you do it first thing in the morning. Right before you go to bed, it's doing the same thing. It's shutting down for the day. It's calming down. It's starting to filter things through. So if you throw your goal at it right before you go to bed, it's going to, again, hopefully stick into your subconscious. So read your goal at least twice a day, first thing in the morning, right before you go to bed. Number 2. What am I going to call this thing? Your goal paragraph. I should have came up with a fancier name than that, but that's all I can come up with, at least right now. Your goal paragraph. So this is what we did at step 2. So step 2, we answered the 3 questions. And we took the last 2 questions and we put them into a little juicy paragraph in the present tense. I have lost 50 pounds. Not I'm going to. I have lost 50 pounds. So we took that and we wrote a little paragraph in present tense. And what we're going to do is take that goal paragraph. I'll think of something fancier to call it next time. But for now, goal paragraph. And we're going to read it first thing in the morning. So what we want to do is trick our mind into moving towards the goal. If you read something that's in present tense that you're trying to move towards, you're going to trick your mind into moving towards that thing that you're trying to move towards. And again, like we talked about, the best time to do that, first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed. So this, we're going to do at least first thing in the morning. And then if you can do it right before you go to bed too, do it right before you go to bed. I know what a lot of you might be thinking. You want me to do these things in the morning? I already rush around in the morning. I'm already busy. I already have a lot of things going on. I completely understand that. I get it. These things won't take very long, number one. Number two, there's a very high likelihood that the things that you're doing at night are not adding value to your life. So go to bed a little earlier and get up. Go to bed a little earlier and get up a little earlier. Go to bed half an hour early, get up half an hour early. I promise your life will change. Start with 15 minutes. Your life will change if you try that. I promise it will. I'm a big believer that the things that you take in need to add value to your life. Like I said, a lot of the things that we do on a regular basis, especially in that 2 hours before we go to bed, just don't add value to our lives. Find something that adds value to your life and do that. And sleep is one of those things. That's one of the habits that we create for our mentoring members. So sleep is definitely important. So that's why it's just bump the time back, go to bed early, wake up early. Anyway, off my soapbox. So we want to read our goal at least twice a day, first thing in the morning, right before the evening, and then read our goal paragraph at least first thing in the morning. Number 3, so I'm getting close. Number 3, boom, commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency. That's one of the key things of influence. Commitment and consistency. As human beings, when we commit to something, we want to be consistent towards it. So when I commit, I'm going to be consistent with what I say. I'm going to be consistent because if I'm not consistent, then it puts a mark against me. Tell everybody your goal. Everybody that you see. All your family members, all your friends, all your colleagues, tell them all your goal. That's committing you to the goal. That's saying, I want to lose this weight, or I want to achieve this income, or I want to achieve this raise, or whatever it is. And it's going to make you be consistent towards that goal. It's going to force you to move towards it. Because your really good friends are going to encourage you and say, that's fantastic. How's your goal doing? How are you moving towards it? Everything good? And then the ones that aren't so nice in that kind of way, they're going to remind you too, but you're not going to want to hear it, so you're going to move towards it so you don't have to hear it. So tell everybody and so it's going to make you commit to it, and it's going to make you consistent and move towards it, okay? So tell everybody your goal so that you are committed and you are consistent towards your goal. This is how we're going to amplify it. Read your goal at least twice a day. First thing in the morning, right before you go to bed. Read your goal paragraph, first thing in the morning, at least first thing in the morning. And then tell everybody so you are committed and you will be consistent for your goal. And now that we've wrapped up, and I have a couple minutes, because I said 12:45 and I like to stick to that, but I have a couple minutes to kind of ramble on. Now that we've wrapped up our steps, I want to say a few quick things about life in general, and this has to do with goals, so it's not completely arbitrary. But I believe that there are 2 things that are important in life, and being happy in life, I guess. And one of them is the science of achievement. The science of achievement is a science. You can go to somebody and they can tell you how to do whatever it is you want to do. You can go to somebody who has lost 50 pounds and say, how do I lose 50 pounds? And you can get there. And you can go to somebody and you can say, how do I get this raise? How do I make this much money? And they can tell you, and you can get there. It takes action, it takes progress, it takes patience, it takes perseverance, but you can do it. So that's this part, that's the goals, okay? That's what we talked about today, and that's important because you need to have them, otherwise you're not going to go anywhere. That's why those 83% that we talked about in the beginning that don't set goals, that's why they're stuck. Their standards are here. You've already raised your standards because you've came here and you've decided to do this challenge. So you've already raised your standards. The second thing that I believe is important is the art of fulfillment. The science of achievement is a science. The art of fulfillment is not a science. The art of fulfillment and being happy is something that you have to figure out. You can go to somebody and you can get ideas, but if you think you're going to be happy with certain things and you don't allow yourself to be happy with yourself, And with the things that you are achieving, it doesn't matter. Research, the people who landed on the moon the first time, people who landed on the moon the first time, when they came back, the majority of them became depressed and alcoholics. Why would you be depressed and be an alcoholic if you just came back from the moon? You were the first ones to do it. They didn't know what to do. They had achieved their goal, their big goal. They literally reached the moon, and they didn't know what to do after that. So they didn't have the art of fulfillment. They had the science of achievement, but they didn't have the art of fulfillment. So I'll challenge you, as you work towards any goal or change, I'll challenge you to build that art of fulfillment within yourself constantly. And that's what we talk about, things that affect your life in a positive way. Those are the things that build your art of fulfillment within you. So, now that we're finished, like I said, I'm going to send this all to everybody. You're welcome to email me anytime you have a question. I'll even give you my cell phone, but I'm going to give you some things to go along with that. So you can email me, Jerry, Jerry, at thrive4strength.com. Thrive, Thrive, the number 4, strength.com. You can email me anytime, any questions. You can call me or text me, 859-801-1533. Text me first, because I don't answer calls I don't know. Text me first, because I don't answer calls I don't know, but you're welcome to anytime. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please let me know. If there's anything else that you wanted to get out of it, please let me know that as well. I'll gladly put another one of these on later on in the middle of the challenge. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and good luck.